Alright, let's put some music. Okay, what's going on guys? Welcome to another live stream. Today we are Saturday. We're gonna be doing a little bit of modeling today since we're taking it easy. We don't want to do too much code. Been doing code like all night yesterday, so today we're taking it super chill. Hey, what's going on guys? I see people already tuning in the chat. I'll say hello. Victor is actually watching our endless tutorial right now. You know what? The endless tutorial, it's nothing next to what the Subway Surfer is going to be, because Subway Surfer is going to be so much better. Like 10 times better at least. If I go back and I actually look at the endless runner tutorial, I'd personally delete it from my channel. That was a disgrace. Hey, Chandan says, please check the Discord channel. Alright, let's boot the Discord channel. As always guys, the link is in the description down below, and we're going to be using it during the stream today since taking it easy, super chill. We also have music playing in the background for the very first time. It's actually position music, which is something I'm allowed to use without getting copyright striked on YouTube. Amazing stuff. Alright. You love my accent? Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Please tell me how to record gameplay in Android. Alright, so I'm gonna tell you now, but you can Google it like at any time really. There is something you can use to record gameplay in Android. I think it's something, let's check this out. Fraps equivalent for Android. Or you could use a recording app. Yeah, what I do personally is I use an app called... I'll look it up real quick. So my app is called AZ Screen Recorder, and that's what I use for the videos that I've made back in December, I think. Paradox, don't say that. My game is based off endless runner tutorial. Hey, we're here to improve, so technically you can base your apps again on the other one. Mr. Raven says, how do you get into the game industry? I started off as a tester. People don't know that, but I used to test games. The first game I've tested out was Black Flag, actually. Super good game to test. Assassin's Creed. And now before you go on, wait, it's Assassin's Creed, let's type that. Before you go on and tell me that the game was really bugged, that's not my fault. I logged all the bug I've seen, but Ubisoft, sometimes like in terms of budget and you know things that they can do, they have to close off my bug as will not fix or stuff like that. So yeah, don't worry about that. The game was really glitchy, but we could not fix everything. Well, that's my chat right here. Let's move it. So yeah, modeling assets. Today we're going to be modeling some assets. I personally use 3ds Max. I know not everybody uses 3ds Max, but that's what I'm the most comfortable with. And you know, I don't want to go for Blender anymore. I know that people are going to be a lot more happy if I go with Blender, but if I want to get things done fast, I gotta use the software I like the most. So in that case, 3ds Max. Yeah, the expert guy says it. AZ Screen Recorder, super good. So expert guy says, like he's talking about the QA job, so quality assurance job. What do you do when there's no bug? There is always bug. If you're on a AAA production, there's always going to be bug. Like Assassin's Creed, every day, bug. And you always had like that routine where you would go to work in the morning and then you'd have to complete the game. It was called a smoke test. So you just complete the game, the storyline, one shot like this, and that's it. So if you were encountering any problem, you had to log that bug. People, like, the only reason you did smoke tests is to make sure there is no game-breaking bugs. So if your save game goes corrupted, or if you cannot pass, say, the 4th mission because there's something going, like, blocking you from doing it, you have to take this bug, put it on urgent, and then people in the production are going to make sure that you can actually complete the game during that day. So yeah, it's like just a matter of regressing bug, logging them, and making sure that people that you log the bug to do their job. And if you're about to be publishing your game, not publishing, but like a deliverable, and there's a workaround, sorry, a breakthrough bug, something that does not allow you to complete the whole game, then you have to stay there at the office for the whole day until people fix it. Wait, but all the Assassin's Creed game had so much bugs? That's right, but that's because their engine is getting a little bit outdated. Alright, let's go quickly check the chat and then I'll start modeling a bit. Thanks for the comments, guys. Okay, so Raven says, what do you have to do to be a tester? Sorry for my allergies. So what do you have to do to become a tester? It's just basically apply to get a job, to get a tester. But the one that stands out the most, like the tester that are going to stand out the most, are the one that says, I have a really big interest in, say, coding or art, and I know like all the terms. There is going to be like a series on the channel, just like a sideline like that. There's going to be a series on the channel that teaches about all the words we use in the gaming industry and how when you make games, like such words like level of detail, anti-aliasing, all that kind of stuff. We're going to be explaining that later on. But if you show that you know these words and you're able to communicate these, then you're going to stand out as a tester. If you say that you have a programming background, it's even going to be better. What are the major differences in between Blender and 3ds Max? The major difference, for me at least, are just the keybinds. Like, I can get moving like so fast with this thing, and right now my keybinds are not set, so but still, I feel like it's a lot faster for me to work in 3ds Max just because I know the environment more and I know how to reset stuff. It's just I don't know how to do that in Blender. But if you get used to Blender, go ahead and use it. It's open source, so it has more potential than 3ds Max. Gigi says, I applied for tester position with them too lately, waiting for the response. That's cool. Hope you get something positive. Moriv says, will you say it's easy to code a little mesh painter for Unity that use height map and such? Everything that uses the editor is not going to be so easy because you have to think, it's not like a start and an update. It's actually, you do get a start, you don't really get an update that much, so it's not gonna be that easy. No, you have to learn how to use the editor scripts. Aura says, what programming language should I learn first? C#. C#'s good. Actually, just learn whatever you want first, but make sure that you don't actually go for the language you want to learn. So say you want to become a programmer, don't say, oh, I'm gonna go learn C# or I'm gonna go learn C++. Just go for, I want to make a game, so I'm gonna pick up Unity, and then by default, I'll have to learn C#. Or I want to make a game in Unreal Engine. If I want to go a little bit further while I'm making that game, I'll have to pick up C++. So don't really make learning the coding language the primary focus. Make it like something secondary that you'll have to pick up if your primary focus wants to level up, basically. Hey, what's going on, Polly? Let's start modeling, my friend. Yes, we are going to start modeling right away. Alright, so before we go into modeling, I need to actually set my keybinds. I have some specific keybinds that I like quite a lot. Let me share them with you. So say I create a random box like this. What I like doing is when I press on spacebar, it converts it to a editable polygon. So I don't have a box anymore. I do have like a mesh that I can edit. So I'm gonna go under customize. Customize user interface, look for the convert to editable polygon, spacebar, assign. I also like to, there's another one for vertex, vertex join. Oops. So I need another keybind for this when I select the vertex and I want to merge it with another one. Target weld, it's called. Okay, so let's go ahead and find a target weld. So I have target weld for polygon. I think that's the one I'm looking for. I'll bind it on Q. Let's try it out. Click here, click there, they're merge. Nice, amazing. We'll only be using these one first. Okay. So let's have a look. This is my game I have right now. I actually changed the boat. The boat was not gonna work in the end, and one of the main focus you guys gave me, well, one of the main, how do you say that? Problems that you guys had with me using the boat is the fact that we were not going to animate like an actual player, like a physical 2-foot player, biped player. So I decided to actually go with it and get rid of the boat. We're gonna be using a wave border kind of guy instead. So we're gonna be like surfing on actual surfboard, and this one's gonna have legs, this one's gonna have animation. It's more gonna be like a biped thing. Hope you guys are happy with that. Schreeder says, where can I find the assets? We're making them right now actually, so they're not ready just yet. Right now what I'm using for the Subway Surfer game in terms of just testing out stuff is simple boxes like this. My spawning system is not completely over, but it's getting a lot better right now. So there is 4 kinds of object that I need, and I'll need like multiple variation of these objects, but they are, if I go under here, there's like a long block. In the Subway Surfer that would be like the train, so that would be like a train. Now there is also the ramp, so the ramp is mixed with a train technically, and you know, it's to go up one floor. There are also going to be slides, which are just going to be like object like this that you have to slide beneath. So you also see that in Subway Surfer. We can boot the game, by the way, on the side. Here we go. Polly says, my background was Lightwave 3D. Convert client. Oh, that's actually quite cool. I've never actually learned about Lightwave 3D. I don't even know what it is, but I'm assuming that's 3D software, right? Gamer Chap, yeah, there was a stream that was actually too bugged out. It was during the little glitch we had with YouTube. So what I decided to do at that point is say, well, I'm just going to take Subway Surfer offline, rewrite it, make it like good with when I'm more concentrated, when I'm more like thinking about what I'm doing, and we'll be pushing it to the channel as videos, just like the other series. Yeah, there is some changes we did behind the scenes, so that's why it's because we missed a stream, which kind of sucks. But hey, we have to deal with it. Alright. So we'll also need those sliding assets, we'll need jumping over assets. These one I don't have right now. I'll go ahead and make one real quick. Alright, so we have our cube. I have to make sure everything is really on point every time. There we go, new prefab. So let's start with these. We need at least one variation of every single one of these. So jump, long block, ramp, and slide. Segment is another thing. We don't have to deal with that so much. Yeah, this is a emulator. It's called Nox. I actually run everything on that. So if you guys, like when you guys send over games for me to test out, I run them on my emulator because I don't want to get infected if there's a problem with your app, something like that. So yeah, that's the slide down. The long block we have would be the trains. This is the ramp right here. And I think that's all there is in Subway Surfer actually. There's also the jump, which is the newest one we just added. Okay, so here's the thing. Everything that you see on this screen right now is all within the prefab we just said. So it's all, even this moving train right here, that's a long block, but it's animated. It doesn't look like it, but that's gonna be a long block in our game. Okay. By the way, for this thing, like for this effect that they have going on, like for the train, animated train, I don't think that in data the train is actually moving. I think that's only like an animation, but the collider is always in the same spot. That's what I'm believing. Or at least that's what I'm going to do with my game. So we're technically going to have a collider that's still over there, but we'll add like a moving train animation on top of it. In our case, it's not going to be a train, obviously, since we're in the middle of water. Which brings me to another point. I know I'm talking a lot right now, but we're going to get into modeling quite soon. But that brings me to another point. What is it already? Right, okay, so we're not going to be on land, we're not going to be using trains, so what exactly are we going to be using? First, I said my player was going to be a wave boarder, so like a guy on a surfboard that just moves on quickly. But we do need a lot of assets going on around, you know, we need all these collider, we need all these things. So what I felt like doing is actually putting him in a Santorini set. And he'd be like waveboarding around the shores of Santorini, something like that. And if you guys don't know about this place, it's in Greece. It's actually... Oh, well, here we go. I just lost my game. Let me just pull it up. That's what I was thinking about. So, if we go into that Greece setting, we make it a little bit cartoonish, I think we can end up with something that looks quite good. There's many possibilities for blocks. There's like some archway we can use, like the whole architecture lets you do that. And in terms of stuff in the middle of the ocean, I'm not sure what we'll put. We'll find out then. Let's get right into it, guys. Jump. Long block. Ramp. Alright. It's going to read a little bit of the comments real quick. Does it work? Does it work on Mac? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Oh, you mean the emulator? I am not able to confirm if it does work on Mac. I think it doesn't, like, to be honest. What software is good for modeling to later put your objects in Unity? Any software. You just have to know how to use it good. A Paradox says, if you get time, check out my Android game, Long Land. Just send that over to us, man. Like, send us a link, we'll pick up the APK and we'll test it out. But right now, boom. We're in 3ds Max. I'm going to make sure everything is in meters. This grid spacing, I want 1 meter per square. I'm also going to go under Customize Unit Setup. Make sure everything is ready. Yep, meter everywhere. Good. We can get started. So, how big is a lane actually? A lane is... we could say it's 2 meter by 2 meter. Like something like that. That's 2 meter right here. I know it's hard to see, but there's like 2 squares. That would be 2 meter. So 2 meter in width. And in length, it really depends on what you have. So for this little guy right here, for this ramp would be... I really don't know actually. How big is this ramp? What if I put it here? Okay, so it's also 2 meters. So 2 by 2. Let's do that. Oops. What code is this? Oh, that's my code. Alright, so we need something quite simple, 2 by 2. Going to start with a box like that, and for some reason I'm in wireframe. Weird stuff. Now we want to be making a ramp, so I just remove these, and I have some weird shading going on. Let me just turn that off. Alright. So that would be like the real size of my ramp, but we want to cover that with something more cool. You know, we want to cover that with something different. I was thinking about doing some planks, just like some kind of wooden planks that you would use as a jump. You see that in Skate game quite a lot, but I'm just going to be using this object right here in the background to limit what I can do with it. So I'll freeze it. Freeze selection. Here we go. Now let's create our ramp. I'm gonna go with the idea I had in mind of just creating planks, so wooden planks. Oops. I'm messing up with my Mac keybind, sorry about that. By the way, you put texture on your object in the modeling program or later in Unity. We'll do it in the modeling and then in Unity, so we have to do it at 2 places. Alright, so that could be 1 plank. Now obviously this one is... That's too straight, that's like not cool at all. Now Polly's gonna judge me because I suck at this, but hey, don't worry. I'm gonna get better at one point. You know what? Let me go back to what we had earlier, and I'll just be modifying the bend. I'll be bending this plank. Let's try this. Add a bend modifier to this thing. A plank doesn't really bend, right? That's a bit stupid. Yeah, a plank doesn't bend. Let's not use that. What could we do? What could we do? We'll just put some cracks in it. Maybe something like this, a little bit higher. I'll split it apart, so we'll connect this a few times. This game is not going to be high poly at all, but we can still afford to put some in here. There we go. Variation in our plank. Crazy things, guys. Crazy things. That's not a plank at all. Alright. Alright. Let's not mess this up this time. There we go. Now, I'll add some more definition on the other axis too. Then we can try to just chip. Should we actually chip it here, or should we chip it on the texture? Let's have reference. I want something like that, but I want it to look like it's cartoony and maybe a little bit broken. Alright. We can add definition later. Boom. Create this thing. Pump up the length. Move it here. And the texture is going to play a lot with this as well. Just do the border on the modeling, you can bump everything else on the texture. Yeah, exactly, that's a good thing. Alright, so we'll do only the border here. And on the texture, we'll do something else. Alright. So, length is gonna be... maybe 0.2, height's gonna be 0.2 as well. Oh, that's too much. 0.02. Now check this out. Sick details. Boom, let's connect this. Where's my slicing tool? I like to just slice that in. Check the chat, please. Please make them round. What? Round 3 planks. Send me like a something, like a reference. Round planks. Also, please don't use caps. It's not helping. I'm looking up round planks. I don't really see what's up with that. But yeah, just like he said, we're gonna be modeling that later on. So we'll be putting, not modeling, but we'll be putting the texture on later. And by later, I mean actually during this stream, just not right now, since I want to have these in the game. So I'll move this over, copy it to a few times. Here's the object, and we can rotate it just to make sure we have the jumping thing going on. Alright, let's play around with the ends of it just a little bit. Give it some variation. It's gonna look weird, but in the end with the texture, super good. Now there's a way to actually align this so I can move up without messing up everything. I just forgot my keybinds. I haven't been modeling since school, and that has been, how long is that? Like 4 years? About 4 years, yeah. Hey, what's up guys? I got a nice image. How do I send it to you? Links are banned in YouTube, that's for sure, but head over to Discord and just send it here. Hey, somebody just... Amazing. Thanks for sharing. But yeah, just head over to the Discord. Just put your move in local. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, but you know where exactly is my button? Like, I'm looking for that button right now. That's what I'm missing. I think itch.io has some good texture. Most likely, but we want to be doing our own texture. We'll be drawing them later on. And it's gonna look like crap at first, but we can always polish them. Oh, they have really weird pivot point. I'm still having a lot of problems with my my keybinds. And your bar tool, so right there below graph editor in your bar tool, right there below graph editor in your bar tool. View local, okay, I got you. Nice, I'll be using that. Thanks, somebody else has 3ds Max here. That's good to know. Very good to know. Let's put that right here, move it a little bit below. Does that make sense? It looks like it does make sense just a little bit. And this one can be tilted on this side. Oops. Ah, messed up. It's gonna be so like, it's not gonna be really easy to see in the game, but still, let's do it. Something I should have done before that is do my UV. I just realized that my UV are gonna be a pain to do. Okay, so that looks like it makes a little bit more sense. I'm going to unfreeze. Maybe move this around. And I'll just merge these objects together. That's the #1 ramp. Now below that ramp I'd like to have some kind of rock or something. Pluggy says Crazy Bump is amazing. Okay, I know what Crazy Bump is. Assuming it takes a texture and then convert it into a normal map. Yeah, it probably does, but we don't want to have normal maps in our case. Yeah, Mr. I can't pronounce your name, but yeah, we're gonna be uploading this to the asset store, not the asset store, but the Play Store when it's over. Alright, so I'm gonna do the UV real quick, so I don't actually miss them later on. I'm gonna do unwrap UV on this thing, open UV editor. Oh, how do I UV again? Let's boot up Photoshop. I need a reference. I can't do that like this. Yes, this entire session is going to be available for replay, assuming that you want to hear me talk about random stuff and just chill around. I'd appreciate that if you did. Crazy Bump is fairly cool. It's a really old tool. The expert guy says check Discord. Yeah, I'm actually on it. Here we go. Okay, so make this with more blank. That could be another variation. That's good. So we have our first one we just did. It needs more UV, it needs texturing, but we can also do something like that. That'd be nice. A ramp like this could be also very cool. And the expert guy just sent like chipped wood. So that's exactly what I was looking for. Polly says, can't help UV in 3ds Max use Modo. I don't even know what Modo is. But you know what? I'm gonna start laying down some wood planks right here. Maybe resize this thing. 258. Oops. What is it? Oh, I was connected. Let's remove the link. We can't remove the link. Ah, damn. Alright. So, I'll be just taking some weird colors for now, most likely. Well, no, actually, I have to take real colors. We need something really, really light. I want the game to be like a cold game, a cold color game, like it's something like super light all the time. So that could be our brown right here, even though it really doesn't look like brown. There you go, that's our brown. Okay, and we'll make two planks variation. We can do that. Now I'll take a smaller pen. Actually, I'll make this whole thing smaller. There we go. Take a smaller pen, maybe something like 5. And I'll just try painting some shadow and some highlights. Don't judge me, I'm not doing this every day. Actually, I haven't done that in a really long while, but we'll try out something. With a reference. Alright, let's put that on the other screen. Alright, so let's try and do a notch. I guess. It could look like one. And then it's super chipped over here. This is gonna be awful, guys. It's gonna be nice awful, not awful awful. There we go. Something like that. Oops. I just broke everything I did. So here we go. So where it says which one is the best program, it really depends on which one you get used to the fastest and which one you like the most. There's no better program, I don't think so. Like Photoshop, I'll never get used to Photoshop. Ever. Even though it's super easy. Apparently. That's what everybody keeps telling me. Photoshop is super easy. Should I be using the black color? No, I can't be using that. I have to be... Yeah, I have to make my shadows anyway. Right, we were on the good path earlier. I just have to keep doing it properly. Maybe add a little crack here. Yeah, Blender is free and also Blender is open source, so I believe that Blender has more potential. But like I said, I'm actually used to using 3ds Max a lot more, so I'll always take it over Blender. That's in my case though. And also this playlist is repeating itself, quite annoying. I'll have to find something else. I never actually listened to any of these before. It's the only music I can use on YouTube without getting banged. Cute planks? Hey, thank you. We're doing our best to make this look awful. But you know what? Looking awful like this is a lot better than looking gray and looking, no texture. So those are actually very cute plank. Thank you. Alright, now let's do a little bit of shadow and highlight stuff. Oh, I was actually doing shadow. Okay, well, let's do more. Give it some depth right here. Amazing stuff. There we go. Looks like actual 3D now. Whoa. Isn't that sick? I promise it's gonna look good in the end. Here we go. Whoa, sick stuff. Super goosey. Oops. I'm not even disappointed in myself. I think this looks good. Right, let's bump down the shadow and the highlights, and we end up with something like this. Okay. Now, I did not know exactly what to do with this background here. I feel like removing it, but we can't have any alpha. So it's simply going to be black. Let's take the eraser tool and go like this. We'll add a black background in the end. Super precise work using my mouse. I do have like a graphic tablet, I just broke my pen, so I can't use it anymore. See, if you're not using the full opacity, it actually looks somewhat decent. Or so I like to believe. And all my friends are playing PlayerUnknown. I feel like playing, but hey, we got a lot of things to do today, so no games. Well, at least not for now. Maybe one game in between the two streams. Okay, that's gonna be our first blank. Let's add a black background to it. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, cool. Might want to make this a little bit like this. Okay, cool. You know, that's a start. It's not the best, but we can work on it. I'll be saving this as a PSD file. Let's cheat. Let's put that as a PSD file directly in our game. So, might want to get rid of these. Just clean up a little bit. Oops. Here we go. Amazing plank. Wow. Save as PSD because we're cheating. And now I gotta find our game. Where's our game? This one's right here. Assets, animation. I'll create a folder just for PSD files. These are going to be the planks, or wooden plank, in case we have some more. Let's check Discord real quick, if you guys said anything else in here. Oh, there's like a bunch of blank texture going on. See, these ones don't look cartoony enough. Actually, these one looks like they have like a filter on it. Oh, that's some perfect notches we can use. Cool, cool. Cool deal, guys. I'll take this, I'll duplicate it, put it, say, on this axis for now, just so we can actually use 2 planks in our UVs. Now, back in here, This is gonna be the fun part, where I just mess up everything. Alright, so I'm fairly new to 3ds Max 2017. Feels like they've done a lot of change to this editor. I used to click here and I have my oh, actually it is here. That's my texture. My texture is a checker right now. Let's change that for, there we go, big texture. But let's pick a material actually. This one. Bitmap, and then we're gonna go right into our game folder. What am I looking for? I'm in the wrong folder, am I? Yeah, okay, I was. Pirate Run, assets, artwork, PSD. Here we go. Wooden planks. We did it, boys. We have our wooden planks. And here they are. I actually haven't done any UV and they look quite okay, actually. That doesn't look too bad. Well, no, actually it looks awful. It's using both planks. So that's why we have to do the UVs on this thing. Let's go ahead, unwrap, open the UV editor, and find our wooden planks. So they're good on the axis. Actually, they're like, they have perfect UV. We just have to scroll that back down. Maybe like in the center right here. And also, I'll use some of them. Maybe this one. And I'll just bump it up here. So it's using the other plank. So when we have two different planks, we can actually have variation here. I think I'm moving them. I don't know what's going on actually. Yeah, I think I broke my UV. Ah, why is it not working? There we go, so that's one. Select by element, we want to get this off in polygon. That's not it. I want it so when I click on one vertex, it just selects the whole thing. Okay, no, that was it, right here. But I'm just wondering, why does this one have no edges? Some mysteries. I should have been like playing around with it before stream, but hey, we have some planks going on. That is a start. So these planks, let's call it ramp 1, because that's going to be our first variation of ramps. And something really important that you should be doing every time: reset your goddamn Xform. So whoever is doing this in Unity, like whoever is working with your assets in Unity, doesn't have to deal with awful pivot points. So you reset your Xform, then you put that pivot point right at the origin of where it should be. And also, since we're in Unity, let's make sure that the Y faces up, like so, and the Z faces forward. There we go, that's like perfectly exported asset right here. Let's take this and export. Ramp 1, let's put that inside of local disk, folder, Unity, Pirate Run, assets, and then where's my ramps at? Artwork, okay, artwork, then we'll create a folder called ramps. Nice. So the expert guy says a lot of stuff actually, just talking to other people. I'm not gonna read this. At the bottom of the page, in the middle, you can read how it works and the terms. I should have been doing that before stream. I'm not gonna like read on how it works right now. Might be a little bit boring. So let's have a look at our ramp. Right now in the ramp we have this thing. Only the debug. There is mold in debug though. We want to be using our new model as well. So I'll be dragging this thing in here. Can we find it? Here it is. And technically, well actually not technically, but it is exported in a weird way. We have to fix things. And also I might have not gauged the height at all. It's double the height. It's actually not 2, or not only 1, but it's 2. So this thing has to be like this. Also, that's forward, so I don't know why it's pointing that way. Our forward should be like this. Okay. Well, let's fix this first. We're going to get rid of this box. And then what about our pivot point? Where's our pivot point at? It's not showing anymore. Why is my pivot point not showing? Alright, put that back on 0. Let's do the same modification we did a second ago. But let's keep the I feel like we're gonna keep the x-axis pointing this way. And also this has to go up. 1, 2 has to go up. That up. Hey, that's actually quite far. Can we actually make it? Not without looking at weird. Like, it's gonna look weird if we do that. Or actually it doesn't look that bad. Okay. Right. That might be a little bit steep, but it's not gonna look like that in our game at all. Again, let's reset the pivot point because we just affected the orientation of this thing. So, center the object. Put everything back on 0. And then as for the rotation, it doesn't seem like it has reset it at all. Here we go. I'll be exporting this again. So ramp 1, let's have a look in the game what we get. Okay, same deal. Right now, since we don't have the box anymore, it's actually assuming the right axis. So we can go back and put that pivot point back on where it was, like this. So that would make a lot more sense now. Export. Hey, this is what we have now. Amazing. If we just move the player a bit, have a look at the game, it's gonna look something like that. You know, without the fog, I think it's gonna look a lot better. And then we also have to take in consideration that there is a shader behind this, bending everything. I'll be hiding the debug. Just put that in the water like this. And let's save the ramp. Now if I get rid of this, oops, hit apply. Oh, it didn't affect my segment, it only affected my little prefab, which is fine. That's the one I'll be using later on. But yeah, so we have two options. We have the option to have the debug graphic, or to have the ramp 1 graphic. Now there's gonna be ramp 2, ramp 3, ramp 4, all that kind of stuff, depending, you know, how much time we have to put into this. But at least now we have at least one graphic for this thing. Looks weird, looks awful. What if we get rid of the fog? Or the ambient light? Fog was fine. And all of this has to deal with the how to say that? The ambient lighting. You know, it looks already a little bit better like that without a skybox. But we're gonna have to play with these in the end once we have our proper shader. Alright. Cool. Now, I want to go and actually start creating the sides of it, like the long, the trains, which are not going to be trains in our game. These long blocks. So, Guessnet the Pro says, when do you release the multiplayer tutorial? That is not on the pipeline right now. Actually, it is on the pipeline, it's just not planned out. I'll have to release the Subway Surfer first. And also, do a little bit more live stream about making whole games. Just like later on tonight, we're making Balls, which is a very fun, addicting game that I played around with all week, actually. Just go pick it up real quick. Oh, here it is. It's actually in the top one. Hey Dennis, good morning. How you doing this morning? How's everybody doing this morning? Alright, so that's the game we're going to be doing later on tonight. It's a fairly simple game. If you just have a look at like in terms of what's going on, it's super easy to make that kind of game, and I think we're going to be able to do it within, I don't want to be cocky, but maybe 2 hours. And it's so much fun. It's actually really addicting. And I suck at it right now. There we go. Got some good hits. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're doing tonight, guys. Good night from Philippine. Really love your work. Hey man, good night. You should go to sleep. It's already, what is it? It's like midnight there. It's about to be noon for us, so I feel you. I feel you in your timeline. This is so fun, and also useless. Alright, let's go and do the trains kind of thing that are not going to be trains. They'll be like more Santorini-like buildings. I've decided that these are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meters, so I might want to extend that to 6 meters. That would be more fun, I think. What if we do this? Now let's do 6 meters. And those are 2 meter high, if I can recall properly. Yeah, they're 2 meter highs. So I'll be going right here. I'll not just leave this one in the scene. This one is not completed. We still need something to support it, such as rocks or the building. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 meters, and it has to be 2 meter high. There we go. We have something like this. I want to make it a little bit rounded to give it more of like a cartoony feeling. So maybe connect these edges. We'll use this, then connect the other ones. Now let's just go in top view and move these manually like that. A little bit more rounded. I don't know if I wanted this to be like perfectly mirrored up and down. Actually, I don't want this to be mirrored. I want this to be like a little bit trash. Like this could do. Is this for my work? No, this is for YouTube. This is for making some video games. Also just having fun a bit. A bit. We're not having too much fun, just a little bit of fun. There we go, something like that could do. Now for the Santorini like building, I feel like we could add some kind of ramparts, maybe? Let's Google these images. Boom. There's like a lot of curves. Tons of curves. It's also super pretty. I dream to go there at one point, like if I'm able to save some money and go there for say a week. When we release the Balls game, we're actually doing it tonight and we'll be releasing the video also tonight. It's gonna be a live stream basically, so just like the Stack game we've made a long time ago, it's gonna be a live stream. Yeah, okay, that doesn't really fit what we're trying to do actually. It's like perfect arcs. We can go back. Oops. Maybe like make an arc out of this. It's already, yeah, it's already bent. Okay. I have to think. What are we going to be doing with these? Maybe bevel that and then arc it. But the player is going to be moving on that axis. That's why I'm hesitant to do anything with this. Can you tell the exact time I'll be doing the ball game? Yeah, it's 5 p.m. EST. The music is cool? Well, the music is from Position Musics. And shameless plug, Position Music is actually something exclusive to the Freedom Network, which is my YouTube MCN. And we have access to all of this. We have access to pretty much a lot of good music. Like there's actually real production music using the Transformer and all that kind of stuff. So we have access to that, and if you're interested in joining the YouTube MCN Freedom, there's always a link down there in the description below. Not of this video, of another video. But basically you don't need this if you don't try to monetize your video. And on my channel, I try to monetize my videos, so I need to have something like that. So I don't get shut down basically. Alright, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with this, but that's gonna be okay looking, I guess. A real big part of this is going to be in the texture. We want to have something white and something blue. So white and blue. Now what's going to be blue? I'm assuming these could be blue right here. So let's bevel that again. Can I bevel this by polygon, by local normal? Not, that's not what I want. I want something straight. I'll be doing it by hand. Boom, let's get rid of that. Then take all of these, try to put them on the same. Oh, that's not gonna work. Why? There we go. Double operation. Freedom sucks, it only gives 60%. Well, when you start off, it only gives 60%. I'm currently at 95, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I got 95 at 3,000 subscribers, which you know, other network are gonna give you 95 at maybe like 100k. Freedom gave it to me at 3k. What is the time? Okay, Chandan, you're asking to... Like, the question you're asking can be easily Google. I'll let you Google that one. What is the time in India at, you know, 5 p.m. EST? I'll let you Google that one. Can't have everything given to you like that. Oh, why am I messing this up? Okay. Let's take this, cap it. That's gonna be our blue part. It's gonna look weird, is it? How did we fall again on this song? What the hell? Yeah, like if it's too late, if like, you know, it's 2:30 a.m. In the morning for you guys, just watch it like on the other day. It's gonna be saved as VOD. Of course you can't interact, so that kind of sucks, but still. If you just want to get the game, and you can do that. Boom. Orchestra, let's go boys. I think I'm taking like a whole new direction with this. You know, like these textures we spend too much time doing. They're gonna be gone. We're gonna make like a color palette instead. And a very small one actually. 64 by 64. I keep changing my design decision, but you know what? In the end, this one's gonna be worth it. I promise. So let's do 32 divided by 4, we get 8. So we can do a square every 8. Right, if you never actually did this technique before, let me introduce you to it. Basically what we're doing is we're taking all of this texture space and simply putting blocks of color in them. So I said that I needed some blue if I wanted to make like something like Santorini style. I needed some blue and also some gray beige-ish color. Let's go with this blue. And I'll move another texture here. Where's my apply button? Ah, there it is. Maybe use this kind of blue. Also, this song is really depressing. Orchestra was not the best deal. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I lost viewers from doing this. Quick, change it. I'm taking wild guess every time. No, not that piece of art. Yeah, no, it looks so good, right? Instead, we're gonna have like shades of blue. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm really having trouble finding good songs that is not copyrighted. Oh, this one's starting to be good. I like it. Okay, so that would be like our blue layer at the top. We can have another group that would be planks. And we'll just put it somewhere else. So I'm assuming we could put it a little bit below. So that's 8. Let's go for 16. That would be my blanks right here. And we can add multiple colors to it. So we have the brown we had earlier. That wasn't really a brown. I wish you had put a jump mechanic in your NS runner. Well, we're putting one in this one, so that's why I said the NS runner is really next to this one. It's gonna be nothing. The NS runner is gonna be like super bad next to the Subway Surfer, which is good because that means we're improving in terms of making videos and showing stuff. Alright, here's my new texture, guys. It is my Atlas. And I will actually save it as a PNG right now. Atlas.png. And that's what we'll be using inside of both 2DS Max and also inside of the game. So let's go here, change the bitmap for my Atlas. Boom, put this here, put this there. Does that look good? Doesn't that look good? Amazing art. Okay. Right. So most of our work from here is going to be UV work. Yep, this one is also going away. We're putting the Atlas on it. It should also fix the lighting issue we have. Hey, what's up, Daily Gaming? Nice spam you got going on there. Yeah, like I'm telling you, this texture is amazing. Alright, before people think I'm too serious about that, let's do the UV. So I'll take everything, every single UV, and that's what I like about doing this technique. I don't actually have to do UV, all I have to do is collapse all of these points together. Now where's my collapse button? It has to be up here. They all change. They all change icons. So here it is. So I collapse every single dot together. I'll be putting it on, say, this color, and we can take this blank and this blank. Why not? And put them on the other color. That means most of our detail is gonna have to come from the modeling part of it, which is fine. We can go back and model. Why am I not able to move this? Okay, here we go. Boom. Alright, while that might look awful right now, and it is awful right now, it's gonna look a lot better when everything is completed in the same exact style. So I'll just make sure I select all of these, put a blue color on it. Boom, so I have all my faces selected. Try to collapse everything into one. And can I actually detach it? I need to find a way to detach it. Oh, I just messed up everything. Okay. Scrap everything. We need more color. So these are my planks. These are my buildings. Actually, well, buildings. And now we need the body color of that building. I'll be taking 3 shades because that's what I like to do. And maybe the lightest shade, here it is. Looks a little bit different. Here we go. I like the lightest tone actually, so what I'll do is I'll put this over here and make sure to reload my map. Oh, I didn't export it. Okay, so I'll bind it to the PNG instead, or PSD, sorry. Boom, here we go. Unwrap. And let's move this over. To this blue color. Alright, so here it is. That's my very first building. We already said that it looks awful, but something we can work on now that we do have our colors. I'll call it long 1. And make sure I move it to the appropriate place so it's in the middle of the lane, so somewhere right here. And try to find a way to only export this without exporting everything else. Also, reset transform. Thanks God. Like we've done earlier, the Z-axis goes forward and the Y-axis goes up, just like in your favorite engine, Unity game engine. There it is. So export selected is what we want. So we don't actually export everything. Let's go here. That's going to be a long. I'll call it long 1. So this block currently has the debug material to it, and the def panel. This is only like if you run into it, you're dead, basically. Vince says, hello Nerk, I have a question. Just go ahead and ask this question. You're trying to do Subway Surf. Yes, Daily Gaming, we're actually trying to make some assets for Subway Surfer. So just ask your question away, and if I actually don't reply here because it's too complicated, you can head over to Discord. And on Discord, you have this amazing programming help channel, and there is a lot of people active in here. I like it quite a lot, and if you're really active, I can promote you to the cool kids, because the cool kids are the bomb. Okay, I'm getting lost in my thought here. Let's go back to the game a bit. So that's my dev, that's my, okay, cool. Let's add the long block to it. Where is it? Why does it look... Okay, so that's my prefab. Whoopsie. Here it is. Looks a little bit odd, doesn't it? What's up with that? Why is it on this axis? How could this happen to me? I thought I did my reset XFOAM, haven't I? XFOAM. Maybe I didn't collapse it. That might be why. Alright, let's just fix the pivot point again. I might have went too fast and I didn't collapse it. Boom, save this again. I'll actually save the scene as well, and we need to save the 3ds Max scene somewhere, so we can go back and modify your thing. That me says, do you like Slipknot? I don't really listen to that stuff. Could you imagine yourself doing a horror project? Everybody wants to do horror games for some reason. If you want to do like a horror game and you want to go, if you want to get started super quick, a lot of my students did horror games in Unreal Engine super fast. Like they picked up Unreal Engine in one term and also completed their horror game. And when I say a lot of them, I say one of them. And he was pretty skilled. So maybe if you're not that skilled, it might take a little bit more than one term. So put like 4 months into it. I was going to save this. There we go. And then export only my selected. Overwrite what I had. Boom. It's still not working. Why? So my XFOAM is good. My XFOAM is like perfect. Now, if I do export only selected object as non-native file format from the current 3ds scene. Okay. There we go. For some reason it's fixed now. and it's looking exactly the way I want it to look. Let's put the proper atlas on it. Right now that's the one that's unlit. That's the one that comes with the model. Definitely not something what we want. Let's get rid of everything actually. Oh, what have I done? I broke everything. I even broke my reference to the water. Never mind that. What have I done? Right, let's create another material folder. Boom. Sorry about the pink. That's actually breaking our eyes, making me unable to see. Alright, let's quickly put water in here. Boom. Water material. It also has to bend, if I recall. The water bends, right? Yeah, it does. Okay. So curve the world, sure thing. This one had more parameters to it. I just totally forgot about it. And our level manager had a reference to water, I guess. Somebody had a reference to the water plane because it had to move. Scroll water script. Let's put that right here. Boom. Okay, we're getting a little bit closer. Hey, are you a developer on the official Subway Surfer and on Google Play? No, I'm not an official developer on these softwares. I'm by myself doing stuff. In terms of water speed, we changed that earlier for it to go in the right direction. That's like our first problem right now. And also, wasn't supposed to go that fast. Alright, let's try with these values. So we're back to having functioning water. However, it doesn't seem like it's taking the lighting properly, but we'll fix that. When the balls tutorial will start at 5 EST, so that's literally like in 5 hours. Might be a little while from now. Actually, it is a little while from now. Currently, we're just chilling. We're just making this look a little bit better than it used to. We're working on the Subway Surfer game. I'll need another material for my atlas. That's what everyone's going to be using. So atlas. Put it here. Find my atlas texture. And then we make sure this bends. Cool, so we got it working. Now everything else I feel like needs to have the atlas, the one we just created. So it also bends. There we go, so that's our long one. Let's find a long block and actually change a prefab. That's one right here. Put it beneath that, so okay, cool. There we go. It's taking the whole size, like expected. And hit apply. Cool, so if we remove the debug graphic, we end up with something like this, and for the ramp, something like that. So if we don't have the right material on it right now. Or we do have the right material, we just don't have the right UV. We haven't re-exported it. Let's go back here, make sure this is in the center. Boom. And only re-export this one on its own. So export, ramp. And here we go. Can you make a tutorial on how to make the piano tiles game? The piano tiles game with audio involved, I don't think I'm going to be making a tutorial on it, to be honest. I really don't like doing the audio so much in any games for that matter, so piano tile revolves a lot around that a lot, so don't think I'll be doing it. I'm actually recently I've made the decision to stop doing everything that you guys wanted to do, because it might sound bad the way I say it. It's just that if I'm not motivated to do it, it's just gonna suck, basically. So I'd rather just do projects that I like doing and taking you along with me, because right now, like the Subway Surfer, I'm not a big fan of that game, I'll be super honest, but I'm doing it because the request was high. But even though the request is high, I would, yes, of course, I gain followers, I gain watch time on YouTube, but that doesn't bring me anywhere, unfortunately. So I've decided I'll just be sharing things that I want to do. And if I go more specific, there's more chances that I find like those niche people that are going to be supporting me, like on Patreon and stuff like that. So I figured out that I'm a lot better just specifying myself in the field, just like Matthew is specifying himself in AR and VR. I would be making specific video about, say, multiplayer game. That's something I'm a lot more interested in doing, and people that want to support me during that are going to do it, because I'll be not the only one, but I'll be like one that specializes into it, instead of doing all those little games that Kepchak made. Like, if we do it in one stream, I don't mind doing it, it's only one stream, but like if we do it over time, like the Subway Surfer is, that drains me so much, you don't even know. Like, I go back home thinking about this, and oh, I haven't done that, then I want to do it, but I don't. You kind of feel me on that. I hope you kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. And during that time, I also have to take contracts, because you gotta earn a little bit of money. So like, mix that with a real job, and eventually you'll not want to do it anymore. So I decided to stay away like from that as soon as we're done with the Subway Surfer. So no piano tiles, no other small games like that that I honestly dislikes. Cool, so I modified the ramp a little bit. I wanted it to be going a little higher after looking in game what it gave us. And I'll be exporting it on its own. Oops. And since I've reset the X-Form, it's actually quite big now. 111. Here we go. 356. Okay, so it looks something like that at the moment. Doesn't look too bad, to be honest. It doesn't look good either, but it doesn't look awfully bad. If we remove this mesh renderer. So we have one ramp, we have one long. Let's also get... We need a jump, so an object to jump over. I'll just be putting like a rock. And we also need like something to slide beneath. So the sliding beneath, that's gonna be weird. What could we do that we can slide beneath in the middle of the ocean? Let's see. And by the way, how long have we been streaming for? Like 1 hour 30, okay. Let's give it another 30 minutes. Then I'm gonna go take some allergy pills and maybe take a nap, because we're on Saturday. And I'm allowed to do that on Saturdays. Please lower your music. Sure, I can do that. There it is. So I'm still trying to figure out what, you can slide beneath birds or something. Okay, octopus tentacle. Both are very good point. I don't think there's too much octopus over there though. Let's see. It has to be something static. I want to have at least one thing that I can slide beneath that is static. We'll think about it. Meanwhile, let's just do a rock, like the jump over thing, and then we'll try to plug it in a game. For the rock, let's go with a sphere, a geosphere. And let's lower the fragments. Okay, that sounds fine. I will be converting this to editable polygon. Remove this. And we have some epic music going on in the background. Let's just put it a little bit lower, like you said. A closing wave. That would be super cool. That'd be super cool, but I just have the problems. Like, what if it happens in the middle lane? If it happens in the middle lane, it's gonna be weird. Like little island cliff forming a bridge. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice, actually. Okay. Just know that there's gonna be multiple variation of it, depending on where they are. So the cliff, like the closing wave idea, I'm not getting rid of it. We might be able to do it for real. It might look weird, to be honest, but hey, we'll give it a try. So my rock has to be, how big does it has to be? It has to be at least 1 meter. So just to give myself some reference, I'll spawn a box next to it. Boom, that's 1 meter. Definitely too big at the moment. There we go, that would be my rock. Okay, let's make sure everything is on 0 in the z-axis. And let's also move everything a little bit forward like that. Also for the ramps, I'll have one rock as well for a ramp, but like a one that isn't chunky like that, just one that you can use as a jump. But yeah, that's a stupid rock right there. Hey. Can you make health pack tutorial that comes back over time? That's totally out of context, and you'll be able to find this. Like, you don't really have to think about making this. You just have to, you know, you put a function that is a untrigger enter. When you enter, you set the game object you're on to set active false, so you don't see it anymore, and then you start, say, coroutine if you want to be fancy, and put it back on later on. Hey, the PC box, what are we making? We're making Subway Surfer, this amazing game, but we're just creating some assets right now using this very nice texture called an Atlas. So let's go here, unwrap the UV of this thing. We're just going to wrap everything into a single point. Boom, boom. And put that right on top of... We need to put that right on top of what we had earlier. Now I can't find it for some reason. My texture is not loading. Let's take this again. Unwrap. Boom, here it is. Move this up. And we're now in the gray zone. That's gonna be our rock for now. Like, a lot of things have to be improving in terms of like little sharp details. But we can get our programmer art going on quite fast with this. So let's create a new prefab, call it, actually we have one called jump, so here it is. It currently looks like that, so it's a single cube. That's my debug graphics. Now we'll be exporting the rock we just made. Let's call it jump 1. Hello from Romania. Hey, what's up, man? What is going on, guys? I know a lot of you guys are going to sleep soon because you're up and all that kind of stuff. I just woke up. Oh, some weird zoom levels. Alright, so let's take this rock. We reset the X form on it. Now let's change the pivot point. to go exactly in front of it. Same axis as Unity. Like this, let's save, let's export this as jump 1. Oops. And we are now ready to go back in here. Oh, that's actually quite a weird rotation. Okay, it was just it did something weird by default. So here it is, that's our rock. Now not def, but this also needs a collider, so I'll remove the mesh renderer. We'll be using the collider from the debug. So it looks something like this. Same thing goes on for this piece, I believe. So we're going to turn on debug, remove the mesh renderer. So we still have this thing going on, so this ramp. And same thing here. So technically we don't have to put colliders on our real objects. You should use Blender, it makes more advanced polygon. I don't think so. I think 3ds Max makes the same exact thing. You just have to get used to one. Once you get used to one, you're good basically. I'm more used to 3ds Max, but I'm not good yet. I used to be good. Like I used to make cool stuff. And by cool stuff, like just go on Facebook real quick. I have like one image from a really long time that I've did. Beep beep beep. This is like something I've modeled back in 2013. That was when I was at school. So still like really awful on the left side. The right side is okay. The whole centerpiece was kind of cool. Did that all in 3ds Max. I painted every single texture. That's why it looks awful. But hey, you know, you can get something half decent. Right now I'm just not used to it anymore. But I'll get back into it super quick, guys. I will get back to it super quick. Can you make a health pack tutorial that comes back over time? We already answered that. Let's not talk about it anymore. Okay, so we have these 3 pieces. What I want to do right now is just integrate them in what I currently have in the game. So I have to modify some prefabs. Let's go here, hit apply on this thing, hit apply on this thing. Everything has to be a piece. So this one is a piece, this one is a piece, this one isn't a piece. Let's put one. Save, boom, boom, boom. That also works. And here we go. Take my player, put it back in the center. Okay. Now I'll have to modify my segments because it's like we do some nested spawning here. Also, I see that we aren't signing up for Twitter. Well, recurring an account for Twitter. No, we're not doing that right now. We'll do that later on if you want. We can go on Twitter, like do all that kind of stuff. You just have to bring it up, man. You just have to bring it up. I think I'm already signed in. Yep, I'm already signed in. See? Don't even need to recover my account this time. And I even got 10 subscribers. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be active on this thing. I don't think so, at least. Right, so let's modify the segment. We have our single prefab, that's good. Now we need to modify these things. These thing needs to use the proper logic, but I need code to make this happen, I believe. Yeah, I'll be needing code. My hair annoys me. Alright, let's check. Do we still have the piece type? Yeah, we do. I don't know where it's defined though. Let's F12 on it. It's inside of the level manager. Cool. I'll take this, remove it, put that in pieces. And instead of having a prefab index like we had earlier, we're gonna have a boom piece type. Call it type. When we spawn, we're gonna be looking through. When we spawn, we're gonna be looking through a list of that specific type. So, something we could be putting on the level manager. So maybe get rid of that. Type specific list. I know I'm coding like a dumbass right now, but we have to at the moment. Public lists, because I don't want to spend too much time in coding. We said that we're going to be doing some assets. This would be, say, the long list. Public list pieces, the ramp list. Public list of public list of what? Jump list. And finally, public list of ramps. We do have ramps. We do have all of these. Let's go back in the game and check. There's going to be the slides. There's going to be jump, long, ramp, slide. Jump, long, ramp, slide. Is that it? Sure, that's going to be it. Cool. Very, very cool. The Night Eagle, yeah, there's a bunch of tutorial about this kind of stuff, like how to shoot, how to recover a health pack. Really, the best thing I could give you as an advice is just break it down, like to small pieces of what you want to do, type it down, and then try to do them one by one. So, okay, what are you doing right now? You're trying to pick up a weapon, sure. First step is you need to walk on a weapon and something happens. So start by doing that. You're going to learn that you need to do on trigger enter or on collision enter. Then once you have your gun, okay, what can you do? You shoot, you press a button. Okay, so just do your inputs. If you press spacebar, if you do input get button, if you do input get mouse button, right. You have this going on, then you have to shoot your ball forward. How do I make a ball go forward? You learn that you need to take your, say, transform that forward and add velocity to a rigid body. Do them one by one, like step by step, and you'll be fine. If you need to recover a health pack over time, same thing. Deal with the collision first. Once you collided with it and you know that you collided, you can be using debug.log for this. You know, you have your first step, and then it needs to come back over time. You learn how to use a timer or a set coroutine. Speaking of which, speaking of lists, actually, do you prefer array or lists? I like array better. I actually like array quite better, to be honest. Just what I'm trying to do right now, because I'm doing it not so clean, is I want to be using LINQ to find, well, to do list operation, basically. So that's why I'm using list at the moment. Hello from France. Salut. Est-ce que ça va, man? Comment est la Tour Eiffel aujourd'hui? Baguette, pain, pain, baguette, fromage. La standard. Tudo said, what kind of game you're making? We're making Subway Surfer. We're just putting some assets right now. We created some awful looking asset. We're putting them right into the spawner so we can see them live. But I need to change a little bit of code before that. It should not really take long if I just focus on it. So I'll do that for a second. Public piece get prefab. My piece type is gonna be type. That's not gonna work, is it? Is it gonna work? list and array, what do they do? What's the difference in between list and array? There is quite a big difference in between list and array. First off, array inherits from, sorry, list inherits from array. So whatever you do with a list, you can, no, whatever you do with an array, you can do with a list, because it's basically, actually, no, never mind that. It's not the same thing at all. They're not based out of each other. They're based off enumerator, which is, this is what lists are made of, this is what dictionary are made of, this is what everything that contains more than one object are made of. If you want to go for optimization performance, you want to be using array. But the problem with array is that you can't add to them. You cannot like add or more space in array. So if you have like a predefined, say, not a partial, a say private int array, my numbers or my list, you have to say new int like this, and then you have to give a size, so say 10. The only problem that you're gonna run up in this is, say that at one point you end up having a 11th number. You can't do that. You have, like, if you have a 11th number, what you have to do is create a new array, and then say that this new array is size of 11, and then copy all from the other one, put it in my new one. So you're gonna be losing a lot of performance. Now, what list allows you to do is it's allowing you to actually add stuff to it and remove stuff from it dynamically. The thing is, every single slot in your array is going to be bigger, because it needs to keep a reference to the previous thing, and also needs to give a reference to the following thing if there is. It's called a linked list. If I just go real quick, press and print screen, your array in memory is going to look like this. So your array of say 3 space is going to be like this. That's index 1, index 2, and index 3. I'm not zero base right here. Now all that chunk is like stuck together in memory. A list, it's actually called a linked list, is something like that. So that would be index 1, and somewhere else like here you can have index 2, index 3 could be right there. So they're on different places of the memory, which means that if, like, for this guy to know where is number 2, he needs to keep additional information right here that says, okay, so in number 2 is on slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's on memory slot 5. And then he goes like this, so here's your number 2. When you iterate through it, you have to go through like this little number to jump from here to there, then from here to there. So every single like block is going to be more expensive in the list, but you're going to have a lot more flexibility. I hope that made sense. It made sense in my head. What is that software you use to draw? It's actually my print screen software that people like quite a lot. That's what I use for print screen. I can just do stuff like that, then it prints. Put that on my desktop for say. Boom, here it is. It's actually called PTR. What's the name of it? PTR SCR. Really cool software. Just get rid of that real quick. Let's go back to our code. Make sure this thing works before we call it off for this first live stream. But yeah, PC Box, if that helped you out, I'm glad it did. Yeah, exactly. So arrays would be used when you have predefined slots, predefined amount of stuff. Like in my case right here, I'm using lists, and I don't know how many, I don't know how many variation of every single thing we're gonna have. So I'm better off ending. I can't speak. I'm better off using lists, and also because I'm gonna be using LINQ later on. Paradox says, I'll be back, it's time for dinner. Check out my game, link in Discord. We can actually have a look at it quite soon. Let's try to make this thing work, but thanks for sending this over, we'll have a link. Here it is. I'll open it up. Hey, it actually looks quite cool. I really like your graphics. I like the style. You can be an ostrich, that's amazing. Yeah, fairly cool stuff, to be honest. I enjoy it quite a lot. Alright. Alright. So, where were we? So we had our list, that's fine. Let's go back here, find my level manager, and start creating stuff in these lists. But they don't appear yet, since we do have errors. So we'll have to fix our errors. Okay. Here's what I did. That's for my pooling mechanic, by the way. What I did is I was looking through every single active pieces right now, and I would use them if it was the same type. So we can actually be doing that. Might be less expensive actually. So pieces, that's fine. Yeah, let's do that. So type. The type of the piece we're looking at is equal to, say, PT, or if the object and the object is inactive. Okay, that's gonna work. Alright, let's do it. Now, if we need to create a new one, we'll have to do another list. That's where it's gonna get a little bit expensive. I hope it doesn't cause any bottleneck, and it shouldn't because the game is quite small. Let's create another list right here. A pieces, possible pieces is going to be equal to pieces. No, it's going to be equal to. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be equal to pieces. And pieces would be. Alright, pieces would be equal. Fine, we're finding all where my type is equal to PT. Okay. This is gonna give us a list of pieces that we can actually use. A list or an array. Oh, it has to be a list in this case. And then we can do a random on this thing to get multiple kind of pieces if we want to. So P is going to equal to possible pieces at the index random dot range, whatever you guys call it in your native language, that is English. Count. We do a random, we get a random piece, we instantiate it. Once we're done with that, set the parent transform, get the piece again, this time from the instance and not from the prefab. We say, we don't have to set this actually. Actually, do we have to do it? Let's just make sure we do it. P.type is equal to PT. Then we add this to the pieces array. Okay, I get it. So pieces array is actually, yeah, okay, so the pieces array is the thing we spawned. We can't use this in this case. Segment, we can't use this. We'll have another array for this. Public list piece active pieces. There we go. Piece, and this is active pieces. Active piece.n. Okay, cool. So we should be good to go. Actually, probably gonna run into a bug or two before we get it to it, but that's a good step. Done already. I'll get rid of this. Head over to my level manager, start setting some stuff. So segments, we do have 2 segments, that's fine. Transition, that's okay. And now pieces. That's where we input everything we currently have. So let's say we have 5 for now. We have jump. And jump, you have to say that this is a type of jump. So jump is equal to 2, slide is equal to 3, say. It's cool, I don't know. You know you can use array over lists for LINQ, and it will convert. If it does convert though, it's not gonna be good either way. But yeah, I agree that we have too much lists. We can look into that when I'm off stream. I should be looking into that when I'm off stream. Or if we have any bottlenecks. But it does look a little bit too listy. Where was I? Oh, I was creating these types and then I had to set this jump on jump. Cool. Number one thing done. Now for the long blocks, set this on long block. For the ramp, it's on ramp by default, okay. And the slide is here. Cool. I'll try to span this, see what happens. This is awful. Why is it not working? I mean, I know why it's not working, but I'm wondering how many steps I'll have to do before it is working. So when we do a span on segment, it calls a span on every single pieces. We do get prefab and then we don't do anything else with that. Okay, so we do have our piece right here. Does it do we get prefab? It returns a piece, so piece B is equal to this. And then we'd have to position it, I believe, or it might have created a new one. Add the position of this piece right now. I'm tired of hearing this song. Change. What? Those are like 8-second songs anyway. What the hell? So my problem is quite awful. I've changed the whole system while I was rewriting this, and this one's still using like using the old kind of way. And unfortunately, I can't get help from you guys because I haven't shown you what I've did. So okay, so we have segments over here, then we do a set active false. And we get a game object. I just want to stack this one over where I am right now. Can I do that? Or is that going to be too weird? What is this one for? Why is it spouting here? This is not a ramp. Also, I want to get rid of the old one. No, I can't do that in the start. I have to do that in the spawning. So when we spawn, let's put the game object set active to false. That's the old one. Like, I want this to become like this, but I want to keep the position as well. Oh, I'm always like offset of the camera. Not that it matters so much. Okay, P position, transform position. So I want to know what kind of segment is this? That's the left train. Okay. Left train has no reason to have a ramp on this side. So what is this ramp for? It's another ramp out of nowhere. It's not actually part of any. It's not part of any segments. Why is that? Oh, it's all using the ramp still, so it's all using the old data. That kind of sucks. I have to replace those with the newest prefabs. Alright, let's go on. Do that kind of stuff now. I'm gonna make sure that it uses prefab so when I change it later on it doesn't mess up everything again. Alright, let's get rid of everything. Cool. So middle ramp prefab would be completed technically, and now I have to move on to the other segment, that is left train. Hey, cool. What is the problem? It's really hard to explain. It's just because I'm using like the nested spawning solution I came up with in my head, and I haven't really shared with you guys what's going on. So I'm just debugging a little bit on my own right now, but it seems like I'm gonna get it to work, but I'll have to do a lot of modification to it on my end. But it's almost done. Don't worry about that. Boom. Cool. So we have two variations right now of segments. Let's override this one. Is it really 15 meters? It's 6. Yeah, I think we're using 6 now. So that's 6, 12, 18. We've got 18 meters. Boom, let's save this. Which also means that the other one has been modified. That's 6 and that's 12. Okay, and just for the sake of it, I'll create a new one since we do have the jump. No, I can't just call it jump. Jump center. And this one we can put, of course, the jump. We'll put it 3 meters in front or 5 meters in front, another one at maybe 15 meters. Next to it, I'll be putting trains on this side at least, and right here. Now you have to know that these trains and these rocks can change, and that's going to be the beauty of it. Like, it doesn't have to be this very specific model. They're going to be able to change model while the game is playing. So that's going to be the really cool part about the nested spawning. Like, it could be using variation number X of the ramp. So how long is this? It's it's 15, 16, it's 16 I guess. 1, 2, it's 21, okay. There we go. I'll get back with the logic like in the videos, don't worry about that. Save this in the segments and add it to the level manager. Okay, weirdest thing now, we're gonna give this look in the game. Hey, it's actually working, and this is too fast, obviously. The rock doesn't have a collider. Well, it does have a collider, it just doesn't have the kill command to it. So where's my rock? It's under jump. And beneath jump, we have the debug object which holds the collider. Set the tag to obstacle. And right now, I'm hoping that it actually did. I'm hoping that it did it on the other segments, but I don't think it did. It didn't. That's so stupid. At one point, Unity is going to be able to do nested prefabs, but it's not today. So we don't have jump here. We only had jump at one place. Not too bad. Whoa. Yeah, so a lot of tweaking has to be done with the jumping and like all that kind of stuff. But hey, we get something basic going on. We need a lot more prefab to make this look good. Also, the fog isn't set properly, or it is, but we don't have enough fog. Sorry, skybox. A lot of keywords I can't get right. Jump is definitely too high. You don't want to be able to jump on the train like this. That's weird, but we'll have to modify that, of course, when we tweak this a little bit more. Need a lot more segment so it's not always repeating itself. And we'll need to add coins, power up, boom, all that kind of stuff can be done fairly soon because now we have our spawning system, which is good. That being done, I think I'm going to take a small break before I get ready for stream later on tonight. I'm hoping I can get some change on my stream. I want to get like something cool, maybe an overlay, and have the YouTube chat as well. I'll be looking into this maybe later on today, before the stream hopefully. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'll be over on Discord the rest of the day. If you have any question, you can tune in on there. The link is in the description down below. We're having fun with Banana Protocol's bot. 4 words sent for no reason. Okay. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later on tonight. Peace.